What is up, gentlemen? Happy Sunday. It's that time of the week. Time for the recap. We're here. We're back. It's the Golden News Network. I got a chair and an empty... Does it count as empty? It's definitely like a blank paper towel roll. Don't know why. But, well, I know why I used it while cooking. Anyway, we are here. It's week 11. We got it going, right? Getting close to the playoffs, fellas. And things are getting kind of interesting. Kind of interesting things going on. But we're going to start it off real quick. Game of the week. Great matchup. Two teams from the Long Island Division going head-to-head. John is lucky versus got run over by Liam in one-on-ones. 7-3 versus 8-2. Tied it up. Both teams 8-3. John is lucky getting the huge W. 399 points to 294. The miraculous thing, Brochard did it with only using 8 starters. Cameron used 4 more starters than him. Still couldn't get the job done. You hate to see it for Cameron's effort. He was definitely trying. Just wasn't able to pull it out. Oh, got a negative 12 today. Not that that would have made much of a difference. Lost by over 100 points still. But tough game. Ties it up at 8-3 at the top of the scoreboard, which really is going to make things interesting as I do a recap of the standings now that I think about it. I think that ties 3 teams for first place in the Long Island Division. Then we move on to the interesting game of the week. This isn't the game of the week, but this was a very interesting game this week. John versus Connor tied. They were tied today. As of today, they were tied. Don't know what went down, what changed, blah, 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 because their overall score for today was very close, and the score was not very close. But Connor gets another W. Connor gets his 3rd win of the season. Big, even past John's total from last season, which is huge. Not really, that's a pretty small number. But still, John losing to Connor, wasn't very happy today. Talked to him today, was not happy about losing to Connor. Thought it was very below him to lose to somebody such as Connor. Fat slob that he is. Next, we got the Clubhouse Space Cadets versus Canned Heat, the roommates. They went golfing on Saturday. Wore matching shirts with 2 other of their friends from the rugby team. I forget who the 2 other were, so I don't remember if I know them or not. But the roommates going head-to-head. Once again, this happens pretty often. Big win for Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba moves to 7-4, 344 to 303. Jake's really struggling out here. Again, throwing everything he can at the wall to see what will stick. Trying to get a winning recipe out there. Just not happening. Got 2 negative pitchers today. Jose Alvarado against the Mets, negative 10. Got that W in London. Flight home a little bit quicker. And Josh Hader getting negative 5. Tough week for Jake. Once again, had a shot in this one. Only lost by roughly 40 points, 41 points by the looks of it. Had a shot, couldn't pull it out. Happens to the best of us. Next, we move to my matchup, the Yamamoto versus Corbin Burns Blue Balls, 280 to 256. Very low scoring affair for what we are accustomed to in this league. Okay, low scoring affair. I got the W, moved to 6-5. Somehow I'm second in the Upstate Division. I'll go look at the standings again. That's wild how bad the Upstate Division is this year. Got the win over Alec. Not that Alec's an easy win, but he's not the hardest win. But I definitely don't feel comfortable with how much my team scored. Finally, the most shocking of defeats. Balls and Wieners who came into this week, being one of the top dogs, one of the most feared. And I know what's going to happen. Eddie's going to be like, oh, I didn't pay attention. It was against Griff. Griff, who's not even in the country still. What do I got to worry about? Who cares? I'm not going to set my lineup. I didn't even look this week. Got blown out, Eddie. Absolutely fucking obliterated. 153 to 312 against the man who isn't even here. For someone who's not paying attention to fantasy, Griff's 5-6. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's up there. He's definitely doing the thing. I heard River a second ago, but I guess he didn't come to say hi. That's fine. He's his own person. Eddie didn't even play a shortstop this week. Xander Bogaerts on the injured list. Could have moved Byron Scott. He could have done some stuff, but that's probably part of his thing. He's probably like, oh, I didn't pay attention. Here's the proof. I didn't do this, this, and that. Don't want to hear it. Griff gets another win. Moves to 5-6. So proud of that dude. Just killing it on his trip. Not even paying attention. So, we're moving to week 12, yes. But, fantasy, we start July 29th, end of next month is the first round of the playoffs. So let's get our first playoff update and standings update. We got a three-way tie at the top of Long Island Division. Three-way. We got Cameron, who knows what his name's going to be this week. Balls and Wieners and Eddie. And then John is lucky with Brochard. They're all now tied at 8-3. Very, very tight race at the top of the Long Island Division with John at 4th at 5-6. And then Connor at 3-8. Okay? Very tight on the Long Island side. Don't know why I keep saying tight so specifically. Moving to the upstate division, however, much different story. Are things tight? Absolutely. But not the tight that you want as we have in the Long Island division. The upstate division, Chumba and I actually are tied now. I'll have to do the points for, which breaks our tiebreaker. Chumba and I are both 6-5. Griff also moves to 5-6, so he's right behind us. And then we got Jake at 4-7 and Alec at 2-9. Also a tight race. Much different story. That's not a good sentence. Reminder, the top two from either conference are our number 1 seeds. And then after that, the top 4 from either side make the playoffs. So right now, as things stand, we go to the projected playoff bracket. This has not updated to the thing. Let's see. Okay, alright. So, Long Island, number 1. Oh, fuck, I gotta go back and make sure that it's gonna be correct. The Long Island, number 1, Brochard is currently the number 1 seed in the Long Island division. Okay? From the upstate division, it is still, in fact, Chumba. Chumba is up on me for points scored by less than 200. Fairly close margin. Brochard is up on Cameron by about 150 as well. So close margins. Eddie's about 300 behind from Cameron and about 450 from Brochard. So a bit of a gap there. From there, okay, I am in the playoffs, and John Cornobis is currently in a playoff position. Shocker to the world. Shocker to the world. John Cornobus going from last year's disaster, 1 win, right? Or did he get that second one? I don't even remember now. But he barely got one. He might have. I'm pretty sure he only had the one. So disaster to potential playoff team. Can he pull it off? Is the question. We still have a couple of weeks before we get there. So we'll see if John can continue this miraculous lucky run that he is on. This week's game of the week has to be, without a doubt, Balls and Wieners versus Cameron, whatever his name's going to be again. 2 teams tied record-wise for first in the Long Island division. Tied going head-to-head this week. Huge matchup. That's the game of the week. That's a recap. That's the Golden News Network. I'm going to go throw this away or else I'll continue playing with it all night long.